My name is Prince Gordon, and this is the significant remembrance and dark reality of the Holocaust. My name is Prince Gordon, and I'm doing my religion and arts project on the Holocaust Memorial located in Miami Beach. Now, this Holocaust Memorial reflects real-world suffering. It serves as a heavy reminder of the dark and extreme conditions the 6 million Jews experienced during the Holocaust. The Holocaust sculpture is comprised of stone and bronze, while the memorial wall surrounding the sculpture is made of Jerusalem stone and black granite. The creator beyond the Holocaust Memorial is Kenneth Treister, who sculpted the monument and walls surrounding it. He was hired by a small group of Holocaust survivors who proposed the idea of developing the Holocaust Memorial. In 1984, the group comprised of Holocaust survivors decided they wanted to build a permanent memorial in Miami Beach, since South Florida held one of the highest populations of Holocaust survivors at the time. There was an estimation of 20 to 25,000 survivors living in residential neighborhoods within the city. So what is it? The sculpture is called the Sculpture of Love and Anguish. It is a 42-inch tall hand that looks like it's reaching toward the sky. On the hand are a plethora of human bodies that are molded to the sculpture as well as to each other. Visually, the sculpture looks horrifying. The sculpture portrays a wide scene of the victims either trying to save their loved ones or escape the impending doom that will soon follow. There are 130 figures within the sculpture, and it is comprised of many colors like brown and a bluish-green hue. There is also a number tattooed on the hand, which served as an identification number and was exclusive to the Auschwitz concentration camp. Additionally, the walls contain all the names of the 6 million victims who perished during the Holocaust. Lastly, you can see mourning figures surrounding the hand of the sculpture. This includes a couple, a family, and an adult figure with two children. The Holocaust Memorial serves as a testament that commemorates every victim who perished and was subjected to extreme means of cruelty during the Holocaust. It is a sacred place in which we can gather and grieve the loss of the Holocaust victims, including our family relatives, and honor them by remembering them. So, for my formal analysis, I thought that visually the sculpture looked terrifying, although it makes me appreciate it because I believe that is what the artist wanted to convey. He wants us to feel a sense of the dread and despair the Jews experienced, and that is exactly what I felt. In addition, I'm really impressed with the diversity in the facial expressions of the figures as well. In some figures, you see a great despair in their faces, and some have a more solemn expression as if they accepted their fate. It really gives me a sense of eeriness. Additionally, I love how the sculpture creates a clashing dynamic between the figures. On the hand, you see some victims are closer to escaping than others. Some are prioritizing the safety of their loved ones, and others look like they've already deceased, and some aren't even trying to escape. Just below the sculpture, we can see a family, a couple, and an adult figure with two children. What I interpret specifically in the family and couple is that it seems as if they are more content on being with each other in their final moments rather than escaping the chaos around them. While the adult figure is trying his best to confront the crying children under such disastrous circumstances, it is truly a powerful expression of the horror of what is the Holocaust. Finally, I also like the slender appearances of the figures. I think of it as a comparison to the starvation and malnutrition the Holocaust victims were forced to endure. For my dramatic veracity, the sculpture of love and anguish serves as a direct reflection of what is reality and evilness. In many cases, suffering and evilness are philosophical issues that reside in our world. Yet they are both fundamental parts that define a portion of our reality. The sculpture conveys a story of evilness and suffering, which is a mere reflection of our world. For my integration of form and content, I do believe the Holocaust Memorial Sculpture is an appropriate reflection of the actual Holocaust. The Holocaust sculpture depicts a sorrowful and gruesome scene that serves as a reenactment of the real Holocaust. We must also keep in mind that this Holocaust memorial doesn't tell the full story of the Holocaust. Therefore, I believe it is a proper sample size that gives us an indication of what the Holocaust victims' experience was like. The message this monument sends is to call us to witness the horrific event of the Holocaust and urges us to remember it for all of time. When it comes to the imagery of the Holocaust sculpture, I do believe the artist intended for it to look as gruesome as it did so that it matched his vision. His vision was to create a monument for the Holocaust that will honor the victims by showing their resilience and display the cruel reality of the Holocaust. In fact, Treiser himself stated he wanted the arm to represent the final act of a dying person, a final demonstration of resilience in the face of terror. He describes it as his portrayal of a scene in hell frozen in bronze. In addition, the look of despair as the victims race to escape their torment gives society a glimpse of the dreadful reality that is the Holocaust. Although the artist also intended to show us a final act of love in a sculpture. On the sculpture, there are figures that are not just trying to escape, but also preserve and protect the lives of their loved ones. It is a beautiful display of affection and a frightening event. Lastly, the wall that contains the names of the 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust helps us understand the gravity of such a catastrophic event. So, what I learned from this immersive project is that I enjoy trying to interpret the meaning of art pieces. I enjoy the level of critical thinking art can bring me. There are so many ways you can analyze art, and I like it. With this project, I contemplated several times what the sculpture of love and anguish meant. I look at it as a means of showing the despair and terror the Jews faced during the Holocaust, or an act of love and preservation of the family is another way I interpreted this monument. Although I also believe it could symbolize the resilience of the victims. They persevered through the terrors of the Holocaust and refused to have their spirits broken. In conclusion, the Holocaust Memorial was a captivating experience. I was drawn to the sculpture of love and anguish monument when trying to figure out what religious site I wanted to explore. And I knew from that moment I saw it, I wanted to see it in person. If I'm to be honest, I only visited the sculpture of love and anguish, which can be found in the central plaza of the museum. The sculpture taught me that its imagery of the suffering victims is a mirror image of the real tragedy the victims of the Holocaust endured. In addition, the memorial wall, which commemorates the entire 6 million Jews who fell victim during the Holocaust, leaves me with a profound impression. It helps me understand the disastrous implications of such a horrible event. 6 million people is a massive quantity of people. To think so many people suffer and fell victim to such evil conditions leaves a heaviness inside of me. What I learned about myself is that I genuinely love exploring the history of an art piece and interpreting its message. I love interpreting the message of the sculpture of love and anguish, and I love this gruesome design. I also want to personally thank the artist Kenneth Treister, including the team of Holocaust survivors who created an historical moment whose significance will remain unforgettable. Once again, my name is Prince Gordon, and I hope you enjoyed this video, took some inspiration from it, and learned something as well.